Welcome, pirates, to a midnight episode of One Piece. Just got back from my OP7 pre-release. I was able to go 3-0 with this promo Luffy. I snagged a Captain Kid card at the end. Ended up only placing second because we only did 3 rounds, but it was still a really fun event. And I thought it'd be fun to show you guys what I ended up pulling. So good value-wise, we got our 4 for 5s. We got Edward Weevil, a good blocker, Urge. These are all my 4 for 5s. Just these two. And then moving on, something better. The 4 for 6s, this is better value. You got Vega Force. If you can get these guys, these are your best value. You can get these out on turn 2 if you're on Even Dawn. Dice. And we got Fusa, which only activates if you get down to 1 life, which I never got to use, but could be really useful if you get them out on a good turn. And moving right along, we got the 5 cost 6,000s. Way more utility here. And an abundance of them. A lot of triggers if you want to go Eggman. A lot of conditional stuff. Jimbei. Ended up pulling a alt Jewelry Bonnie. Never got the trigger to work, but it's a really good card if you can get it to land for you. Boa Marigold, 5 for 6. The promo Kid, which should go in everybody's deck, I think. It's just a really good filler card. Fisher Tiger was cool because he can attack characters that just came out. Couldn't get the on play, but still 5 for 6 is really good. Gecko Moria only works if you have 7 Warlords, but 5 for 6 still good. I was able to get this Rob Lucci off when they had 1 card left in hand, which I think helped me get through the end wall at the end. He had a lot of counters. York, just 5 for 6. KO 2 or less if they have a blocker. It's good and limited. This is conditional, but still fun. 5 for 6, it's a really good card. 6 for 7, we got Lucy. Got really close to getting... I got 1 trigger off of this the whole time. You can add 1 card from the top of your life or the bottom of your life to your hand. You can rest up to one of your opponent's characters with 4 or less. And if you got 1 or less life, you can add a card from the top of your deck to your life. So that's really good just to filter out and get more cards to your hand. Got 1 trigger off of that, which wasn't bad. We did get 1 blocker Sanji, which I was able to actually get him off for the 3 less because my round 2 opponent was the Rainbow Luffy, and he used the announcer from Foxy to ramp his Dawn ahead of me, and I was able to get him out with a 4 cost on my 7 drop turn, which was really good. And then moving into the best value, you got your 6 cost 8,000s, which I ended up getting 2 Apu, which was really good, and he's got a counter on him. And then the CP0 Maha, 6 for 8, is really good. And then this guy, which won me at least one of my games, Mihawk, 8 for 10, and you get to draw a card on play. It's a really good finisher. I was able to close out a lot of 2 of my games with him. And moving on to utility and 2Ks. Other than blocker Sanji, I only got Tony Chopper and Guzmanda. Still bought me enough time and did their job. A little bit of defense. We got Slow So Beam. I wasn't able to use this, but tapping down an extra character could save you if you just need to buy a turn. Iron Body in my first round against a Yamato. I was able to leave 2 up, give them 3 Dawn. They swung 8 at me, and I was able to get 9,000 defense with Iron Body, which was good. But 2 for 4 is really good, and if you can pull off the extra 2, it just helps. Pulled 2 of the Snake Dance, which saved me a lot. It's a 2, gain 4,000 power this turn, and then return up to 1 of your characters to your owner's hand. So you don't have to return something, it's up to 1. And it's got a good trigger. And then these are just in this deck just because they are 2000s. We got Hattori, Monda, Gina, we got 2 of those. Kaku, Papaga, Automa, rare slot, and then a Boa, all 2Ks. And that's all they're in there for, is pretty much just a block. I don't think I've played out a single one of these the whole game. And then the last couple of filler cards are just more pizza to try to dig for Bonnie. 3 for 4 is the closest I could get that had a counter, just to fill in to get to 40. These guys were possible draw, but ended up just being counters. And then same with this, I don't think I ever hit anything off of her, and she was the only one out of these that I ended up playing. Round 1 was a Yamato, which was just a lot of waiting. I didn't get a single trigger off of him the whole first round. My second round was against Rainbow Luffy, and I was able to get probably a good 4 triggers off of this, so I got decent value off of that. But Rainbow Luffy with the Foxy Pirate stuff from OP7 is really good. I was not expecting to get bogged down on Foxy Pirates as much as Rainbow Luffy did put up a good fight. And my round 3 was up against Red Black Sabo, and him being able to save a character once per turn really locks you down. Just trying to destroy a blocker or that kid, the pre-release kid that everyone has. So a really good ability, and it's almost like Bonnie, where like if you can't get over that threshold of having so many characters on the field, it's really hard to remove their characters. But all in all, it was a really good night. My other buddy ended up being able to take home a pre-release winner kid, so we both had a good night. The other big hit of the night was pulling a Boa. It was my last card in my last pack. And then stuff that we never added was anything like 1 for 3, 0 power, anything with no counters. Didn't really consider low power. All this is low power, no counters. Some of these you could have added in as your last couple cards, but these are all ones that I just sideboarded out. This would have been cool if I would have pulled more Warlord stuff. But all in all, I had a great pre-release, and I can't wait to knock out some more over the weekend. If you guys have any questions about how I built my deck, just ask them in the comments below. Until we set sail again, pirates, have a good night.